This is my current holiday TBR, and by December 25th, I want these books read and done off my TBR. This is quite a hefty holiday TBR, and I'm honestly not quite sure how I ended up with all of these, but we are going to read, or try to read, all of these in the month of December before December 25th. Right now, it's the 12th. We have 10 days to get through all of these books, and the first one we're starting with is right here. This is Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan. This is Oprah's book club pick. All I know about it is it has something to do with Ireland, so let's read the synopsis. It says, it's 1985 in a small Irish town during the weeks leading up to Christmas. Bill Furlong, a coal merchant and family man, faces into his busiest season. Early one morning while delivering an order to the local convent, Bill makes a discovery which forces him to confront both his past and the complicit silences of a town controlled by the church. An international bestseller, winner of the Orwell Prize, and shortlisted for the Booker Prize, Small Things Like These is a deeply affecting story of hope, quiet heroism, and empathy from one of our most critically lauded and iconic writers. Clearly, it's got multiple awards going for it, so we are going to pick this up. It's quite short, and I have the audiobook on hold, and it is an Irish narrator, so it's one of the reasons why I wanted to read the audiobook. It's only 114 pages, so I'm going to listen to this audiobook while I get some gift wrapping done, while I do some organizing on my bookshelves, and I'll update you when I get this read. I'm quite excited. We're going to see how this goes. Got a little reading update. We have 3 books here to talk about, so let's talk about the one that you know first. Small Things by Claire Keegan. I finished this the day that I had been talking to you, but I had a whole New York debacle that I've explained in another video, and I don't really want to re-explain. Essentially, I was traveling, and I finished this, and I didn't have time to update you before I left. So, Small Things by Claire Keegan. I rated this, I think, a 4 stars. It was quite short and very contained. It wasn't a huge plot or a huge problem. It was very small. It was about a very small town who had a very small problem with the nuns in the town who were very religious and maybe not using their power to the best of their abilities. Our main character, who was a father and a businessman, found out that these nuns were abusing their power, fought to save one of them. It was a very small story about a small heroic action, and it was just very heartwarming at Christmas time, and I see why it's very highly rated. It really reminded me of that TikTok sound, like, good really can exist. You know that one? That's what it reminded me of, and that's kind of what I said in my Fable review. Yeah, I'm quite happy with how it turned out. I probably will reread this next holiday season because it was really quick. The audiobook was really well done with the Irish narrator, and I just think it was very heartwarming and a great short story to read around the holidays. As I've maybe already told you, I'm reading A Heart for Christmas by Sophie Jomain. This is an advent calendar book, so every day you cut open a little section and you're able to read that little section on that day of December. So I'm currently on section number 17. Today is the 16th, so I read number 16 this morning while I was sitting in bed. But obviously we aren't going to finish this until the 24th, but we will finish it by my goal of the 25th. It's not very good, to be quite honest. The dialogue is bad to me. None of it is the way that someone would speak, and not even because it's young or maybe a little too TikTok-y for my liking. It's more like, it feels like your grandma trying to use slang, but then also the dialogue is that of a 4-year-old. And that sounds very, very mean, but that's kind of how I feel. Like, some of the things that they say, I'm just like, no one would ever say that. Next time I find like a really good example, I'll read it out, but there are so many good examples, I just don't want to go through and find them right now. But the dialogue is quite bad, and the only reason I'm continuing this is because each day I get to open a section, and that is the fun of it. Other than that, it's kind of just like a nuisance to have to read every morning because I'm like, oh my god, what terrible thing is going to come up in this book again? And there was a random like plot of this girl like offing herself because of her brother, and like it was so out of nowhere just to create like an issue, and I don't understand why that needed to be a thing. Like, he can be a player without having to, like, that could have not been a plot and he still could have been the villain. You know what I mean? Like, it was so out of nowhere, and then the rest of the conflict is about that, but it came up halfway through the book. It was just like weird and strange, and I didn't like it. We're gonna continue this and we're gonna finish it. And lastly, after I finished Small Things Like These, I picked up Holiday Ever After by Hannah Grace, and I'm about halfway through. So far, I am really liking this book. This is kind of like a reverse Hallmark movie where the woman is coming into town for like business reasons, and then the owner of a small toy shop, the man, and he's very creative and artsy and caring, and he cares for all the people in the town. It's like kind of a reverse roles in the sense of like our FMC is really the male character and then the MMC is the female character with like traditional gender roles. It's done very well. It's not like overly Christmassy, but honestly I could maybe use a tad bit more Christmas if I'm being quite honest. I think our plot is being developed quite well. It's significant. It's something that I care about. It's not just like the romance is the plot, and there's a reason why they hate each other because it's kind of enemies to lovers. The small town is quite cute. It feels very real, and like this could, not that it could happen, but like it feels significant. It feels real. It doesn't just feel like a holiday romance to be a holiday romance. I think maybe this is going to be a series. I'm not totally sure, but Hannah Grace could make this a series. And I feel like it is such an upgrade from Icebreaker. Icebreaker and that whole series was kind of a college romance, and this feels very grown up and very mature, and I'm really liking the progression of Hannah Grace's writing into an adult novel. I think she would do really well to keep doing adult. And the other book was adult, but it was just like adult set in a college setting, and I think that kind of made the book feel a little bit more juvenile, and not in a bad way. It was just, you know, in college, but this with the adult characters and like the significant work issues and problems feels very tangibly grown up, if that makes sense, in a good way. I'm gonna keep reading this. I've been listening to it on audio, and the audiobook narrator for our MMC is one of my favorite narrators I think ever. I'll put his name on the screen. I'm very bad at remembering names of actors, and I'm also very bad at remembering the names of audiobook narrators, but I really like our audiobook narrator for this, so we're going to continue reading this as I do some things today and this week. I'm unhauling some books for my holiday TBR because I did a huge unhaul recently, and there's just some things that I'm like, I am not interested in reading this any longer. Comfort and Joy by Kristen Hanna and Along Came Holly by Cody Hall have been removed from the holiday TBR, so I only have 3 books left on there: the Megan Quinn, the JLA, and also Wreck My Plans. So we're making good progress. 3 more books to finish. It's the 16th, and this book, and 3 more books, and I think we can do it. We're gonna get cracking on this. I'm hoping to finish this today probably, and then pick up another book tomorrow. I have a little bit of an update on my finishing all the books on my holiday TBR. My holiday TBR now looks like this. 2 books left. Well, 3 because I'm in the middle of one right now. I did finish Holiday Ever After by Hannah Grace. I ended up rating this a 4-star. I love the characters. I really believed in their love, and I feel like the 3rd act conflict, as much as it was a 3rd act conflict, I felt like it made sense and it felt very appropriate for this story, and it felt very realistic. Like this could be a conflict that happens in real life, especially with a spatial constraint around a relationship, like a long distance type of thing. It was a unique take on kind of the Hallmark movie of the big city work focused individual moving to a small town and finding peace and love and happiness in a small town. I also really liked the spice. It was well placed, it was well done, it wasn't overdone. I do think we could have had a little bit less time with them being together. It could have been maybe a little bit more of a slow burn, but regardless, I feel like it worked well. I think we could have, there was something missing, and I can't tell you what, from the plot. Not like I can't because it'll spoil it, more like I can't because I don't know. I wish that there was just something else in the plot that really, I don't know, made me believe in that plot, in that work setting, kind of in the dilemma with the work. Like it felt like kind of too much on the back burner maybe. Like I would remember that it was a thing and I'd be like, oh, we really haven't focused on this enough to where I feel like it's really making an impact. I think it could have been a little bit more in the forefront maybe is what was wrong with it for me. Other than that, I think this was a pretty strong holiday romance. I think it could have been a little bit more Christmassy if we're really going to play up the Christmas Christmas romance dynamic. I think it could have been a little bit more. I'd say this is probably one of the best holiday romances I've read this year and other years. Hannah Grace's writing is so strong, and I think I said this earlier, but her transition to adult was perfect. I think she's more well suited to adult characters rather than characters in college. I really like the Icebreaker series, but honestly, these characters were so well done, and almost more well done than Icebreaker, because I felt like they were real and real adults, and I think it was a very nice touch to the romance. I really loved the characters. I think I'm really excited to see what Hannah Grace does in the future. I think her writing will only come to grow, and the next book I ended up picking up is Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal by Megan Quinn. This is the second book in a series, an interconnected standalone series, and I didn't know this, but look at this. First of all, that art, oh my god, that is gorgeous. Second of all, Megan Quinn sometimes does this in her books, but I didn't know it was in this book. There are illustrations throughout, and I really enjoy them because I am someone who has quite a hard time picturing characters in my head because I have aphantasia, which means you can't really see things in your head. So when I'm reading, I'm literally just seeing the words, and I cannot picture people, scenes, events, things like that. So I really like when a book, oh, I can't show this one on camera, but it's on page 261 if you want to go look at it. I can't see things in my head, so I really enjoy when a book has illustrations that help me picture a scene or a moment or a character along with reading. And I didn't know that they were in there, and now I think I might have to go back and read this while I'm listening to the audiobook. I had just been listening to the audiobook while I did some things around my room. Maybe tonight I'm gonna sit in bed, get a cozy drink, and read physically as well, like a immersive read. I think that would be really nice. This one follows Max, like the dog Max, and I don't really know who our FMC is supposed to be in like the original Grinch story. I think Max's character is not my favorite. Like I really definitely preferred the Grinch so far. Like he's supposed to be very dramatic and high energy, like a puppy, you know, golden retriever vibes, but it's not bad. I just don't know if it's my favorite quite yet. However, I'm very early on. I need to continue this tonight, so maybe we'll set up a little cutesy reading environment and do a little bit of reading. This is the book that I'm on in our holiday TBR. We have 2 to go, and today is the 17th, so we are kind of on track to finish all these books by the 25th. Hello and good morning. Today is the 21st of December. Proof. It's the 21st of December, and we have 4 more days to finish all of these books. I have quite the update for you. As you know, these are the 2 books that I have been reading. So let me give you an update on A Heart for Christmas First by Sophie Germain. If you were listening to the last update, I told you it was bad. Well, I'm already set on my reading, and I actually have 3 days left to go. This is going to be probably a 1 star. I don't want to be mean because that's not me. I'm not just going to shit on a book because I don't like it, but I literally don't have a single good thing to say other than the fact that I could open a section each day, and that was fun. But other than that, I was not really having fun. None of the plot was good. I actually bookmarked a section to read to you, to show you the writing, because it was atrocious. Yeah, well, not straight away, okay? Shall we have something to eat? I'm ravenous. We make light work of the paninis, but I don't want to leave straight away. 2 straightaways in the same paragraph. So when Augustine suggests we watch some Netflix, I agree happily. We blob out on the open sofa bed, my head against his chest and his arms around my shoulders. We are watching absolute trash, a crummy show about zombies that makes me drowsy. I fall asleep and Augustine doesn't wake me. When I open my eyes, the sun has already gone down and the television is off, and he is caressing my hair. I sit up and stretch. I feel a bit sluggish. Oh, I think I fell asleep. No, really? Did you finish watching the show? Yep. And how did it end? In tragedy. All the zombies were killed and the humans finally won. But the future is grim. They're going to have to keep fighting it out until the end. Lol. Literally. Low. It's 5 o'clock. Do you want me to take you home? I start to lose myself in his gaze. His eyes are almost black, but they still shine so brightly. Not really. Not yet. Unless you have something else we should be doing? No. He leans over me and kisses me. It feels as if my whole body has been set alight, as if I'm burning alive. This kiss is different from the others. It's more urgent, less hesitant, more daring, more powerful. And this time I keep nothing back. Like, I could keep going, but it's just like uncomfortable. The parts specifically that I'm talking about here that I'm like, ooh, are when they say lull, like as a piece of dialogue, and that has been done many a time, like probably 5 at this point. And also the 2 of the same words in the same paragraph that don't really make sense. It's kind of just repetitive. Oh, I think I fell asleep. Like, obviously, like that's not something that someone would say. I don't know. It's just quite awkward. And today I read this chapter. Her mom and her were arguing about her relationship with Augustine or however you want to say it. She says, "No, I think you're right. Okay, hell is freezing over as we speak." They're like mid screaming at each other and like, okay, hell is freezing over as we speak. What are we, what? And also she admits that her daughter is right, like out of nowhere, like they're full blown having a fight where she's like, no, you're wrong, all this stuff. And then she goes, okay, you're right. Hell's freezing over. What? I don't like it. And I'm rage reading at this point right now. However, I will finish it because I only have 3 more sections to go. And I'm quite tempted just to read it because I don't want to have to put up with this another day. But alas, I will read another chapter tomorrow and I will equally hate it. Enough about the rage I have for this book. We're gonna move on to this book, Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal by Megan Quinn, which I have finished. That was my bookmark. I finished this book last night. I was reading it in bed and it ended fairly good. Like, I didn't really have complaints along the second half. I think I wasn't as connected to these characters as I was in the first book in this series. I think these 2 characters were kind of too similar to each other, and that was like the whole shtick of the relationship. Like, they were the same person, and that's all well and good, but I felt like literally they were written the same character. They didn't have any nuance between the 2 of them. Like, even if you are friends with someone and you are so similar to them that it's like eerie, you still have some differences in opinions. It was almost like an Anna and Han, is that his name? Like the first guy that she marries, whatever, in Frozen, where they like finish each other's sandwiches. That's what I was gonna say. Like, that was kind of the vibe of their dialogue, and to some extent it was funny. And then at some point I was like, okay, but they do have like something different about each other. Like, that has to be a thing. That was one complaint I had. Other than that, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, it was creative, it was funny. I really liked how it wrapped up in the end. It was very sweet. I like the reveal at the end of the narrator. That was really cool, and I'm hoping that we get a book for him and his character because I think that could be hot. I think Megan Quinn could do that, right? Like a sexy Santa. I think I'm gonna give this a 3.5. That's at least what I rated it on Fable. I can pop my Fable rating up next to me here. I am done with this, so that means we have to move on to one of our final 2 books, which are Frigid by JLA and Wreck My Plans by Jillian Meadows. So I kind of would like to read this one a little bit more. However, I was able to secure the audiobook for this one on Audible for a cheaper price, and so I went with this one. I started listening to it this morning while I was making my bed, so I literally listened to like 5 minutes maybe of this, and I'm already kind of hating it and regretting buying the audiobook because it is so cringe and like 2014, but in a bad way, where I'm like, ooh, I don't know about this. I'm just going to try and get past that now, knowing that's kind of the vibe, and we're going to have fun. We're going to try and have fun, but I'm a little bit worried about the content, and like maybe they're going to say something that's 2014 that is like not okay. I'm hoping I don't need enough. The audiobook is only 9 hours, so it's really quite short. I'm hoping this isn't a series. Yeah, it is a series, but I'm hoping that they're interconnected standalones instead of just like this book and then I need to read the other book, because I probably will not. I'm driving to Greensboro for a basketball game today. We have an hour in the car on the way there and an hour on the way back. So with me listening to it at double time speed, I should be able to get through the entire audiobook today, hopefully. And then we have another book knocked off our list before the end of the holiday season this year. That's my goal. However, I'm not totally sure if it's possible. I shall see. I'm going to keep getting ready for the day. I'm going to go eat breakfast, listen to my audiobook. We're gonna have a super fun day. Ole Miss and NC State are playing basketball today in Greensboro, and I go to NC State and my sister goes to Ole Miss, so it's a family rivalry game, which is going to be super fun, and that is why we're driving up there. When it's a family car ride, not everyone is open to being quiet, so I can listen to my audiobook, which is totally fine, but I do have plans later tonight, but hopefully we can get this done. I have the Wicked soundtrack, the Wicked for Good soundtrack stuck in my head because I just saw it today and it was a really good movie. Anyways, today I also finished Frigid by JLA. This, I think I'm rating it 2 stars. Moral of the story, this would have been really good if I had read it when Twilight came out. I know I would have eaten it up. However, right now, in the current state of the world and things, it wasn't my favorite. I can't even explain it to you, but essentially there was like a murder plot and like they're just 2 teenagers, college kids that got stuck in a cabin up in the snow in the mountains of West Virginia because of a snowstorm, and then someone's trying to like hurt them, and then there's like a crime side plot. It just kind of went all over the place. On a Christmas scale, I think it's very low. It wasn't very Christmassy. However, I will update you when we start our next book. Page 13. I can hate my inability to make friends other than Augie. I can despise my trauma-filled childhood, and I can loathe my incompetency when it comes to dating. But the thing I hate the most, I want Lena's company more than anyone else's in the world, and it's quite possible I will die still wishing for it. Why is this like so good? And there's another story that connects to it before this, and I want to read it. It's about a museum curator and a scientist, and they fall in love. Did I find a new favorite author? Hello? What's happening right now? Good morning and happy Christmas Eve. I look absolutely insane, but I have to get ready for the day because we have a lot of family coming over. Essentially, I just wanted to give you a small little update on where I am because I'm on track to finish all of my books today and accomplish our goal of finishing my holiday TBR before Christmas. I'm about to go sit down and finish this book. I have the final chapter, day 24, left to read. So I'm gonna go sit downstairs with my mom, maybe drink a hot cup of apple cider, and we are going to read the final day of this book and finish it. As of Wreck My Plans by Melanie Meadows, I am absolutely loving this book. I didn't think I was going to be. I was kind of dreading reading this, but I am so happy that I read this. I'm currently on page 173, about that far in the book, and I have a ton of annotations throughout the first half because, oh my god, this author is putting in the work. It's very tropey, but it doesn't feel tropey. Like, we've had a ton of micro tropes that are like my favorites and that really make the book. It's like a tropey book before a tropey book was a thing. Like, it's not a book written for the tropes, it's a book with tropes and there is a difference. There is a difference. One of my new favorite tropes I figured out is when they secretly reveal that they have a tattoo for the other person. You're telling me that all these years you had a tattoo on your body for them and you didn't tell anyone? And then they find out and it's like, oh my god. I will say it is Second Chance, and that is normally not my favorite, but I'm still eating it up somehow. I don't know how. Somehow I'm still loving it. I definitely can finish this today, like 100%. One thing I will say that could make it a little bit better is you can tell that they live near a small town, but I think they need like the small town side characters to really pull that small town aspect together. Like, we haven't met anyone that makes the small town feel niche and like different. It kind of just feels like we're just in this town and like we have no connection to it. That would make it a little bit more Christmassy. Other than that, it's like perfect. The male love interest is yearning for our FMC. Like, I haven't read a romance book that makes me feel like this in forever. We did have a Taylor Swift reference, but only one. We also know our FMC loves Gilmore Girls, so she is a girly. She's also an artist, which I really love, and there's like the side plot of her finding her art again. Honestly, what a way to end the reading vlog, because I cannot foresee this book going downhill. We're on track to a 4, at least a 4, maybe a 5, and that is pretty good for a romance book. We'll get these done. I have faith. I have faith. I have faith. Good morning and Merry Christmas. I did it. I finished Wreck My Plans this morning by Jillian Meadows. This might be a 5-star. Did I cry? Yes, I did cry. I did cry. And you know what? I haven't cried at a romance book in a long time. Ending the video off strong. We finished all the books on my holiday TBR. This book was actually gorgeous. I have a bunch of annotations in it. I have to go through the second half and fill in my annotations. I have them bookmarked, but I didn't underline anything or tab it yet. I woke up this morning, Christmas morning, and finished the last 100 pages, and it was Christmas morning for them in this book too, so it was like literally perfect. It all just came together so nicely, and round of applause for me. I'm so very, very happy. Other than that, I am just going to put up all the books on the screen that I finished in this video and give you my star ratings, just so we can recap what we did in this video. I honestly don't even remember all the books that I read for this video, but this final star on the tree metaphorically is a 5 star. So Merry Christmas to all those that celebrate. I love you all. I will see you in a video in the future. Get ready for some 2026 content, some New Year's content and resetting, and thanks for spending 2025 with me. If you have been subscribed, if not, subscribe, check out the Etsy in the description, like, comment, and I will see you in another video in the future. Bye.